how do you set up your data center? We'll do a bit of an analysis on how you can read into it as well, and how you can just use it properly. We take a look at our data center. Here you have the all the stats, basically. And let's just move my beautiful face up here for a bit. Over here you have the key findings, this spot right here. And you have the general performance, which is very important actually, for seeing how you play in general. Let's take a look at ours, shall we? As you can see, at our data center on our save, this is our Twitch save, SK brand, which we are doing on the beta now. We have 1.4 goals per game, which is a bit above the average for the league, for the Norwegian Premier League. And as you can see, our expected goals are 1.44, so we are converting our chances properly, so we don't have a problem there. That's also something you can use it for, expected goals and goals per game. If those two are close, then you're not overachieving and you're not underachieving. So our strikers and other people are doing the job. We concede 1.21 per game. It's not when we score only 1.4 per game. That's not brilliant, but it definitely is better than the average. And as you can see here, we are getting off a lot of shots during a game. 13.30 in average. On average, sorry. And so we have that's more. That's about 1.3 more than the rest of the league on average. But shots on target ratio. Now this one has actually impacted my decision making in the team. That tells me we are getting off a lot of shots, but not a lot of them are going on goal. We are perhaps taking long shots, which is what I would assume. And so that tells me, oh, I probably should tweak some settings, right? Then I'll go into my beautiful 352, sorry. And I have ticked work the ball into the box, because as you also can see, the data is here. As you also can see, our passing completion ratio is above 90, which is superb. That's brilliant. And as well as an 85.4% tackles won, which is also very good. And here you have some key findings, right? By just looking at them, our match momentum has been very good, especially against Haugesund. We attempt a lot of passes. It's about 600 per game average, which is huge. And we've also been performing them mostly in our own half, just before the halfway line. So they're not super offensive passes, but we do complete a lot of them. And here you can see how we are playing them. A lot of them are going between our centre backs, as you can see. Max XG. Yeah. From our last game. And long range shots, which is decent, I guess. This is just the overview. I'll move myself over here now. Here you can see reports and visuals, like play reports. if we want him. If we want him in, then we know, oh, then we got him here too. He's also in the data center. And a lot of players there. And one of the key things about this data center is you can ask for anything. You can have a look at different things. Crossing forwards. Finn is doing well there. Passing goalkeepers. Ah, look at this. Holman Johansson is one of the best passers in the league from goalkeepers. And you can look at all those things. And here you have team performance. Now, this one starts out empty. So it starts out like this. So it starts out completely empty. Let me just move myself back down here. It starts out completely empty. And how you add things here are these things. Aerial. I like to win headers. That's important to my type of play. And then you put that in. Display in team analytics. There we go. It's in. Passing. Boom. We don't have the most passes. Also, we don't have the most accurate passing. That only goes to Sarpsborg. And defensive actions. All these things you can add. You can have a pass map. You can have shot maps, last match. And to distinguish between them too, you can see last match here, or the season here. So I would like to have defending here as well. Which is also interesting to read. Because, as you can see, we have very little clearances or blocks, or fouls made, or interceptions. But we have a lot of one tackles. And better expected goals against, as well as few conceded. That tells us we don't need to make as many defending defending actions. Because we are dominating the games. Ooh, sorry. An XG table too. Now this is interesting. I haven't actually seen this one before, but here you can see which teams have the best XG. So you can probably get a lot of these tables. Let's just see. Oh, just the one. Okie dokie then. So these are for the team. These are team statistics. And the same goes for here. In my tactic, I use wide center backs, wink, and so passing is super important for my defenders. So here I can have all these statistics. You can see Kolskogen makes a lot of passes, not as accurate as Sane or Knudsen, but he makes a lot of them. So maybe we should try to improve his vision and passing. Because that's super important. We have ball control for now. But maybe we should do passing in the future. And these are the sort of things you can read from this. My midfielders aren't particularly high scoring. Well, they're high scoring, but not very clinical shooting. Is the thing. Holy. Oh, of course, it's Ikram. But we are some of the best in the league, actually. Advanced goalkeeping. And Holman Johansson is doing quite well here. And so you can ask for just about anything here too. Crossing forwards, passing goalkeepers, movement forwards. That's an interesting one, right? I have very low dribbling forwards here, as you can see. But that's just the players I have, you know. So if that's not important to you, then don't care about it. Aerial defenders. I have aerial forwards. As you can see, well, Sana is doing pretty well on the headed thing, and there's a lot of dots there. So this is how you actually put things in here. And you can look at the matches too. This is the last match. You can see how well you've done and what might need improvement. But the thing I like the most are the last 5 matches. These are the last 5 matches you've played and what the findings have been. So, 4 of the 5 goals we conceded have been scored from position close to the penalty spot. That adds the recommendation lower line of engagement, so they might fall a bit back before engaging. We'll try that. We're not... that might hurt us, but it might not. We can try it out. We struggle to make inroads into attacking areas from central areas with just 55 of 363 entries into the attacking third of the pitch coming from them. That's fine. We play a lot of out wide. So this might not be an issue for us. We've lost a lot of possession on the left side of the pitch in the middle third. That's dangerous for me. That's the worst from this. Yeah, and we've scored none of our long shots too. That's in fact why I put work the ball into the box on. We're super poor. So you can read a lot of stuff into this. And also, if you think that, nah, this is me and done game, that was an anomaly. Whoop. Now you don't have that here either. So now you can sort of adjust your findings too. If there's been a game where you had like 5 players injured, you might not want to take that game into consideration. But yeah, and that can go for huge wins too. That might be an anomaly too. So it's very important, in fact, to choose your games if you would like. If you lose a huge amount, lots of the time, you can't really do this. Like, oh, I didn't like that. Didn't like that either. Didn't like that. Look, we've been super good, like choosing only the good games. But this can create sort of the form, a picture of the form that your team has been in. Which is super good. Righty-ho. And also, of course, your next opponent, which might be one of the most important bits too. I think all the places are the most important bits about this data center. So Strömsgodset, they play a control possession style. So let's go into game with using this. Using the tactic from here. And make that part of this video, shall we? They have decent amount of passes, 312. Grögård, that's their left back. As you can see, I should probably take out Grögård, because he is pivotal to their play style, apparently. They conceded none from the 8 shots from outside the penalty area. That's fine. We are working the ball into the box. And the tackling numbers, let's find them. There are few tackles and poor tackling. They're poor tackling, eh? Let's dribble more. Yeah, we'll tell our players to dribble more. Their team is bad at tackling. So keeping the ball and dribbling a lot to help our cause. Let's look at their analytics. Far fewer. Most passes just before the halfway line. Right. They have made few passes and super inaccurate passing too. Ooh. Yeah, well this was the one we saw. A lot of defensive actions here. They're defending. They make a lot of fouls. So they're making a lot of last-ditch efforts when tackling. That's interesting. How are they performing in the XG build department? Ooh, well, they're overperforming. So this might tell us, as they seem to be overperforming, that the luck might run out soon. So, I always like to have Helton Nilsson mark the cam. That's just the thing I like. Also, we should take out Gregor, because he's super important to the team, as we just discovered. We should also close down Haldor Stenevik, because as you can see, he has the most assists, and he has a lot. He has a lot of average rating, and yeah, he's doing very well. I'm not as bothered by this guy, but we can look at the stats just to be sure. Well, yeah. He's a youngster, right? 17 years old. So these are probably in the lower end. So I won't bother with him too much. Right. So this will be our game after having a super close look at the data center. The data hub, I mean, sorry. And we'll see how that goes. Yeah, this looks good. So, with all our findings from the data center, let's actually get into a game using these and see how this works. I've noticed that it's pretty hard to find good defensive wingers too. On my personal save, I did one with Asker. Because none of you guys... Ooh. Good goal. We are playing with very well. Oh my god. How did that not go in? Stranded to Simba and Sakor. Eggerbo. He made up for it. He super made up for it. Let's go. It isn't right. Was that Simba? That's Simba. Man. Yes. Ooh. That's a good go. And they're going more attacking now as well. And it looks like we've done the Gregor bit, at least, because he's That's a penalty. Because he has, of course, been dropping ever since the assist, and he was dropping before the assist that came from a throw-in. You can't really defend, well, not a lot from set pieces, you know. Good goal. Ooh, even with an assist, he's at a 6.5. I think we've done our job here. And I feel pretty safe. Wolf. Ooh, into Finna. And the smallest boy on the pitch scored with a header. In from Taylor, and Wolf tried to... Finna might have stolen a goal from Wolf. That looked goal-bound, didn't it? This should be the last thing that happens in the game. And so, we've won 5-1. That's not an intentional rhyme, but it did, so here we go. Well done, lads. Finally, I did something right in the team talks. It's the players. I think that's easier. Good. Passes. Here we go. He made 35 passes. That's not a lot. That's not a lot at all. So we actually did manage to stop him from making all these passes. Which is brilliant. And let's see. Dribbles, movement perhaps. Dribble. Brown. We made 18 dribbles. Which is pretty good. And they're all in the spots I would expect. So against Strømsgodset, making more dribbles, running at their defense, really helped out. Because when Simba moved into this position, he might have... Yeah, that's a key pass from him right there. Let's compare that to his movement. I think that's the same one, you know. It's not, but it's close. But yeah, but the dribble in here from both Finna too. This could easily result in shots. And all these crosses here. So I think this really shows that a data hub can really help you win games. Now, Godset was awful. I think I would have won anyways. But it really shows that you can actually improve your team and improve your tactics and improve your match tactics as well before going into the game. If there's a team that's bad on defense, bad in tackling, put on a bunch of dribblers and have them run at the defense, dribble more. And if they're really strong defensively, well, you might want to have them make passes instead. And if they have a player who is super good at distributing the ball, making things happen, put a man on him. And that's how you use the data hub.